Hey folks, this is Brian here. We were able to do another session of my Runequest Roleplaying in Glorantha campaign. This is session 9, which is session 5 of chapter 2, a troll raid. Last time we left the party, they had finished killing the 2 giant beetles and were discussing issues with this collar that one of the beetles had with the Shimmer 1 matrix on it. And so we began the session with some of this discussion going on. So some of the folks came further into the hallway there. Well, while all this fighting was going on, the beetle with the Shimmer 1 matrix was in fact the allied spirit of the troll priestess who lives here, is actually on the other side of the door. So the beetle, sees people coming in. Telepathic communication, wake up, we've got intruders. And then the beetle gets nailed, and then the beetle gets killed. So she's kind of freaking, the troll priestess is. So I just had her do a couple of things. She grabbed a shield, she grabbed her mace, she cast some spirit magic spells on herself, did a rune magic spell, and then summoned a darkness elemental and sent it out underneath the doorway. This darkness elemental was a large one, so it's got a power of 46 plus 6. Actually had an actual stat of 18. And was I rolling hot at the beginning of this session? Of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 characters that this thing engulfed, 2 criticals and a special. Most were just regular successes. I think there's actually a failure on one of them. I think the shaman. And this actually brings up a point that, for purposes of GM musings, when you have a power versus power roll, normally it's the PC's casting, befuddle or demoralize or something on the enemy, right? And so the PCs are rolling their dice. What if they're on the receiving side? Do you have them roll the dice so they feel empowered by what's going on, or does the GM roll the dice because it's the attack and attack's coming from the monsters? I don't know. I'm kind of leaning now to lean the players roll the attack, so it's more like a saving throw, if that makes any sense. That's the way I'm leaning now after having done it, because when I rolled those dice, critical success against the male Hamakti, he's dead. Special success against the female Hamakti, she's out for 20 minus con full turns. And I fudged a roll because Lars got hit with a critical success, and I was going to take out one of the actual PCs this early in the session. So I just made a regular success. So he was demoralized, and then the others were demoralized. The shaman had I feel like he's got decent power. So this blackness comes pouring out underneath the doorway and nails everybody. Then she blows the door open and starts attacking. Now she's got a couple of spells running that give her some offense bonus with her mace. I was planning on her invoking her darkness rune as well. That would have been a regular success. That would put her mace at 125%. Regular success plus 20, so because she was at 105 with all of her bonuses. And after I saw what the darkness elemental had done to everybody, I go, well, this isn't going to go well. So I just didn't worry about that darkness augmentation, darkness rune augmentation. As it was, she nailed Lars, put him down. I think she hit him in the abdomen. Put him down. Excuse me. And then starts fighting off with the shaman. The shaman has a broadsword, but he's got really high dodge skill. So he's dodging as a defense on her attacks. We had an interesting situation where somebody was dodging, but it was special success or critical success, who got special damage. It was kind of some weird stuff, but I think that was in the second combat. And so with him dodging, and her defense is really low, so she didn't make any of her parries, and she doesn't have any armor on except for her 1-point skin. So they eventually took her down. Part of the party, with a demoralized, took off to the mouth of the cave. They were ready to leave. Yeah, but they came back. So they pull the priestess into her room. The darkness elemental, once the priestess was dead, was free. He took off. Now there's a rule in the, I'll call it handbook, the handbook, that talks about summoned spirits, that when the summoner dies, they're freed, even if they're bound. I thought that was odd. I figured if you're bound, it's the binding that's holding you, not the summoning that's holding you. So I still got to question that. But the Darkness Elemental was just summoned, and so it took off. The party moves into the priestess's quarters, which is very Spartan. A bed, a table, probably a chair. I didn't mention a chair, but you know, that kind of thing there. And then they pull in the dead Hamakti and the unconscious Hamakti. And Lars got healed, so he was able to move around. And they barricade themselves in the room. They end up using the table. And so they wave around. They try to wake up the female Hamakti. They can't. They search around the room a bit. They don't find anything. There's another door. So they go to the door and they listen. They don't hear anything. They open it up, and there's another passageway going off. And partway down, there's an opening to the left. So they sneak down there. This opening to the left goes a little like an alcove, and there's a doorway there, another door. And then further down the hallway, it opens up another chamber. And Lars goes down to check out what's in the chamber. When he gets down to the chamber, there are 3 female trolls in that room, 2 of which are up. The third one is still asleep. And the 2 that are up are partially through armoring. Actually, I think one of them was fully armored except for a helmet. And the other one just had on the hauberk. And Lars moves in, combat ensues, the party moves up. It's kind of barricaded or blocked up there at the end. Because these female trolls, once we use a club, they're just going to do 2-handed mace, and they are just not hitting very well at all. And their stats aren't that high. I mean, their skill percentages aren't all that high. So one of them casts blindness on Lars, and then they double team up on the Column, who's the other guy in there, the noble, the Asari's noble. And he's trying to do aim shots to the chest. Is not making any of those land. On round 6, the 3rd female troll gets up. He's shifting down and engages with her. One of the other trolls goes down. So there's the 2. In between, things happen, they're able to take those 2 out. At this point, they go and try and heal Lars because he got hurt bad too. So he's no longer bleeding, so he's not going to die in 5 or 10 minutes, whatever it was. But he's still blind. And so they all pull back to the priestess's room. By the time Lars's blindness runs out, the Hamakti female becomes conscious, and they get up. And at this point, we're looking at it because remember it was getting dark when they first came down. It's trolls are going to be getting up now because we just saw 2 of them that were up and armored up, getting armored up, and that kind of thing. So what are we going to do? We're going to hold up here inside this room, inside a troll hole. or are we going to try and skedaddle out and find some place outside to hide? The female Hamakti suggests that they find someplace else to hide. Excuse me. And she is taking her brother with her. And she's strong, got like 17 strength. So she does the fireman's carry with him, and they do the little sneaky thing to get out. And I make some rolls to see if anybody was in that first chamber or not, and there weren't. So they get out, and they go up top, and they go out about an hour, go off the trail, find a place, try to conceal themselves, and everybody tries to hide. And that's where we ended up ending that session. We had some more tech issues going on with one of the players. And the whole role-playing session itself was not going smoothly either. So we kind of just, it was only 2.5 hours, although my plan was, we're all adults, we all got, family and things we got to do. So I was only, my initial plan was just, 2-hour sessions, not be a big deal on people's schedules and time. But we've been pushing to 3, ever since the beginning, really. This one just went over 2 hours, maybe 2.5. But that's where it ended up. Now the one of the players was talking about the hunter using his conceal skill to reverse their tracking. Now that itself doesn't work, but I can start to see him using his tracking skill to try to cover their tracks as they're going out. So I'll retcon that piece a bit. But there's a dead bear in the main entrance. The priestess is dead. The female trolls are dead. So this entire place is going nuts. They are going to find whoever did this. And of course, when they walk out front, they're going to find all the troll and trollkins that were visiting the hole that were dead as well. Although there's one tied up. There's a trollkin tied up and a troll that's tied up. That's right. I forgot about those. So they'll give some intel. Although I'll let the PCs retcon if they're going to just kill them off as they leave too. But one of these trolls, in fact, the troll leader of this hole is a hunter, a Zong worshiper, right? So his dark scan is really high. And then there's a handful of Trollkin that are Zong hunters. Most of them are Kaigerlitor, but there's a Zaraxaran guy in there and a couple of Zong hunter guys too. So I got the feeling they're going to find him. But before my next session, I'll do some rolls to see how things went. The hunter's only with any conceal skill. It's only 15%. He didn't do anything. And I was going to use that to help augment their hide rolls. So we'll see how well they hid. and how many of these trolls and trollkin are going to, find them. Or maybe just, 1 or 2 find them and they go back and get everybody else and come down on them. That's a possibility too. Well, we'll see how that goes. But, yeah. When I first started this campaign, 13 minutes, okay. When I first started this campaign, I had designed 3 chapters. The baboon hunt, and a couple more that we haven't gotten to yet. But it seemed to me that it would be more fun, to have an actual adventure every season, so you can make skill checks and raise those up. But I think this is going to be the last impromptu chapter that I make. I was able to tie it into the whole scenario and stuff, so it'll work. But the next actual session, the next actual chapter, not sure what it's called offhand, but it'll be during Earth season again. So they'll have a year minus 1 season worth of just standard season skill rolls and stuff. So we'll see how that works out to give these guys some more percentages and things. I do need to get some more players though. Just with the two of them, well, it's somewhat working with the two of them. The party, leftover PCs that are NPCs, and then the actual NPCs they hired, and that's a huge burden on me trying to keep all that straight and working. So I tried to kill off that one guy with the gray ooze, the gorp, and then I had planned on killing Hamagdi with the troll, although the darkness element did that for me. Try and just weed some of this down, but well, we'll see. Anyway, happy gaming.